All right, so we're going to talk about advancements and barriers towards a methane-reducing vaccine. No, other way. So I thought I'd put this up because we all know what the problem is. And of course, farting's always been funnier than burping. So, you know, that's what we're the guys who work on farting livestock. But it also says something about how much education we still have to do out there in the community, because you're more likely to see an article about methane from the back end than the front end. So, you know, we've got a bit of education to do in our sector. So, but we do know what the problem is. So what about vaccines? So this is the FAO data or table that shows sort of where the different interventions could fit in. And what we've done is add vaccines to that. So why is the real interest in vaccines? So if you look at the first column, and this is in sort of non-grazing animals, we've got lots of things we can do. And you've heard about a number of those, and you'll hear about a lot more in the next day or so. So lots of sort of interventions. But if we go to the right-hand side and we look at those animals that are basically total grazing, then a lot of those interventions drop out. And this is where if we had a vaccine, we could come in. Because if we had a vaccine, it actually works across all of the systems that we're looking at. And that's why essentially this is a tough problem, but it's worth having a go at because it could be an intervention that we could rapidly bring online. So the ideal vaccine is one that is vaccination is routinely and frequently used around the globe. A vaccine strategy works across all ruminant species. So again, if we create a vaccine, there's no reason why the same vaccine shouldn't work across goats, sheep, cattle, buffalo. Also, we only need intervention a couple of times a year. How many doses of vaccines? But generally with vaccination, it's a couple of doses to prime an annual boost. So again, it would fit in nicely, fit into routine production systems and all types of production systems. So it would be an ideal intervention if we had it. We put a product profile together. So we had an initial meeting in Dubai. I'm thinking, I can't remember exactly, 18 months or 2 years ago. And we developed this product profile. So what would a vaccine sort of look like? So we know already it needs to be inactivated. A lot of the ways we use with modified live vaccines or grow it up and kill it isn't really going to be available to us with the methane vaccine, far more complicated. So we know it's going to be an inactivated vaccine, reduce methane without the negative effects on productivity. And there's no reason why a vaccine, unless it's a really aggressive adjuvant, should have any negative impact on productivity. I've just highlighted, you can read the rest, but works in all ruminants is obviously ideal and could be delivered in combination with other vaccines. If you think about most veterinary vaccines, they're combo vaccines. So again, there's no reason why it couldn't be delivered at the same time, whether you'd actually want to physically combine it, but you could actually deliver it at the same time. And the second part of this one, so what we predicted here, it would be injectable, intramuscular or subcutaneous, 2 doses, 4 weeks apart. It's pretty standard and require an annual boost. Potentially, in areas where the animals work loss, it could be a more regular boost. We know since you say COVID vaccine, people are giving 6 monthly boosts. So again, we don't know the answer to that, but these are all perfectly acceptable in a vaccine program. We put a target of 30% reduction. Why do we do that? Well, everyone else was claiming around 30%, so we thought, well, it's as good as anything else. But we also don't know that. But and we've heard with genetics, even at 1%, because it's accumulated each year, you can get a significant gain. So this is the basic profile that we put up. It's recently been published as a target for people to go for.